Hello, it's Zarly here. Thank you so much for joining me today with a daily yoga class. So just when we're ready, we're going to start in the seated position, lifting and lengthening through the spine. Just very gently tucking the chin in, resting the eyes closed and bringing focus into our breath. Following the inhale, following the exhale. From here, we're just going to look up to the ceiling, then look down, following the breath. Inhale when we look up, exhale when we look down. So we're just going to warm up through the neck. So we're just warming up the neck. Inhale, we look up, exhale, we look down. We can add a little bit of shoulder movement here as well, just really getting the upper body more moving and warming up. Okay, and just when we're ready, let's take one hand to the side, lift the other one up to the ceiling, and just a little lean to the side. So we're stretching out through the side of the body, just coming down as far as comfortable. The elbow might touch the ground, it might not, it doesn't matter. Opening the chest as much as we can. Let's slowly swap sides when we're ready. So going up and over, little lean to the side as much as comfortable. Okay, let's slowly come back. From here, we're just going to take our foot to the inside of the calf and gently lean forward. Now, if the inside of the calf is a little bit too intense, you can just come to crossed legs as well. So crossed legs is a good option here. And just leaning forward, tipping at the hip, trying not to arch too much through the back. And we can have the hands to the side, we can have them out in front, wherever's comfortable. Little direction change here. We're just going to lean over one leg. If it's comfortable now, we might want to hug the body down in towards that leg. I always like that stretch of hugging the body down. Just wrapping the arms around that leg. And we draw the belly down into the thigh and the forehead just very gently down towards the knee. Breathing into the hips, breathing into the lower back as well. It's relaxing down here. Other side when we're ready, same thing. Just hugging the body down or just resting the hands down to the ground. So hips and lower back, breathing into those areas. Finding your own levels today as well. We can modify freely, change up stretches if we feel like we need to. Let's come back out to the front again. Reaching the head forward. Letting the knees drop down. Breathing here. Okay, and just when we're ready, let's slowly come out of that one. And we're just going to reverse the cross. So if we're crossed legs, reverse the cross. Let's take the other foot to the inside of the calf. Relaxing the upper body forward. Again, we let the knees drop down with every exhale. So we're opening up through our hips. But also gently leaning forward. It's a nice release for our lower back as well. So hips and lower back. And just relaxing here. Letting the arms drop down. A little direction change again. We can have the hands to the ground. Or we can hug the body down into that leg. Breathing into the stretch. Just enjoying the stretch. We are going to swap sides when we're ready. It's really important to breathe into every stretch. Breathe into the muscle that you feel the stretch in. So the muscle that's stopping you from coming further, breathe into that area. And again, just enjoy the stretch, not forcing anything. Just breathing, just relaxing. Beautiful. Let's slowly come back to the front again, reaching the arms forward. Letting the knees freely drop down. Slowly coming up. From here, we're just going to come over onto our hands and knees, and we're going to take the knees out to the sides of the mat, reaching the arms forward. We're going to draw it back into extended child's pose. So the hips draw back to the heels, the arms reach forward, and we press the chest down into the floor. We're opening up through the mid and upper back. Keep reaching the arms forward. From here, just coming through, so we're lying down onto our belly. We're going to come through a couple of options here into our cobra, so on the elbows. If we want to take it a little bit further, we can try our up dog up onto our hands. Listening to the lower back here, so elbows or hands, both options are good. Opening the chest, lifting the chin, breathing into this stretch. Just breathing here. Relaxing it down just onto the elbows if we want to, otherwise we can stay on the hands. Both are really good stretches, it's just what you feel like today. From here, we're just going to come down a little bit further, resting our cheek down. And we're just going to bend one knee and take it across. Just a little lower back release here to add in so the chest stays down. Other side, so we bend that knee, take it across, lower back release. Just keep the head resting down. One more time, back to that first side. Just a little rock side to side with the hips. It's a nice release for the lower back. Okay, second side again. Beautiful. Okay, let's come back to the middle. From here, we're just going to slowly press the body up. Drawing the knees in. Let's come back through into our extended child's pose. Hips drop back to the heels, chest drops down to the ground. Okay, from here we're just going to reach one arm across the body, drawing the body back, so drawing the hips back, dropping the chest down. Opening up through that shoulder. Other side when we're ready, nice big reach out to the corner of the mat. Okay, and just in our own time, let's come back down the middle. Mid and upper back release, dropping the hips down, but opening up through our hip flexors as well. Okay, let's slowly press the body up, just sitting back onto the heels into our hero's pose. If this gets too intense, we can lean the body forward at any stage, but just lengthening the spine here. Now from here, taking our time to get into this next round, we're going to come through into our low lunge. So one foot steps through, and we're just going to take one hand either side of that leg, sinking the hips down, so we drop them down and tuck the tailbone under to open up through the front of the hips. Just lengthening through the crown of the head. Breathing into the hips here. Sinking down, tucking that tailbone under. If it gets too intense, just take the hips away from the ground. Hands come back to the inside, and we're going to slowly bring that leg back. Again, taking our time, there's no rush today. Let's take the other leg forward. And there's no rush, this is your practice. Take it at your own pace. You can modify if you need. Listen to your body. Sinking into the hips here. If it gets too intense, again we draw the hips away from the ground. It's a great stretch for the front of our hips. And again, taking our time, let's draw that leg back. Beautiful. We're just going to sit back into hero's pose next. From here, coming through into an Achilles stretch, toes line up with that knee, sinking the weight back and down. We're going to let that heel drop down, stretching out from our heel to the bottom of our calf. Body weight leans forward gently. We work the heel to the ground. Just being very gentle with this one. Other side, toes line up with the knee, heel drops down, body weight leans forward. Releasing the Achilles. Okay, and just when we're ready, we're going to come around to seated. Facing the small end of our mat, let's take the hands just below our knees, tuck our chin in, and round the shoulders forward, opening up in between our shoulder blades. From there, we're going to roll it down, using our core strength, grabbing onto the thighs if we need. Let's come through into our reclined pigeon. Such a great release for our glutes, this one. So when leg crosses on top, press the knee away. If we want more, we reach through, grabbing behind the thigh. If we want more from here, we can reach through, grabbing onto our shin. Again, this is your practice. You find the level that suits you. And then breathing into this stretch. If it gets too intense, just take it back a level. Working the shoulders to the floor, we want to make sure our spine is supported in this one. But when we transition, it's okay to lift the shoulders up. Just relax the shoulders back down. And we're breathing here. Okay, and just when we're ready, let's swap sides. Again, option 1, keeping that foot on the ground. Option 2, reaching through, grabbing onto the thigh. Option 3, reaching through, grabbing onto our shin. And we can just move around freely as well until we find a good spot. You find a spot that's comfortable for your body. Make adjustments when necessary. I always think there's not one way it fits everyone. Everybody's so different. So personalize your practice to suit you. Beautiful. Just when we're ready, we can release that stretch, taking our time. Let's come through into our reclined bound angle next. Soles of the feet together, knees drop out to the side. Now, traditionally, we bring the feet in close to the body, but you can vary this as well. Again, it's your practice. Just making sure that in this one, the lower back is close to the ground, so we're tucking the tailbone under. We don't want too much of an arch through the lower back. A little bit's okay, but no excessive arch. Breathing into the hips with the exhale, just encouraging the knees to drop down. Just breathing here. Okay, and just when we're ready, let's lift the knees up. It's coming through into a little meditation just to finish our practice today. Lengthening out the spine. Shoulders are away from the ears, tailbone is tucked under, lower back is close to the floor. And we just breathe here, in and out through the nose. Belly rises, belly falls. Just taking a moment now just to relax after our yoga practice. Let the body sink down. Focusing on the breath, letting the mind open. Just keep following the breath. With every exhale, just feeling the body drop down into the floor. Letting any tension or stress melt away from the body with every exhale. Just breathing now. Just following the breath. Inhale and exhale. So now in time, we can add a little bit of movement back. Getting moving, bending the knees if we want to, maybe a little rock side to side with the knees. Slowly coming out of our meditations, no rush. When we're ready, we can roll onto the side and just gently press the body up to seated. When we finish, hands come to the front, and we say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me with this yoga class today.